Dating is like driving. There's 4 things I want you to remember about dating and driving. And number 1 is that in order to drive, you have to have a license. In order to date, you have to be of certain age. Nobody drives just because you know how to drive. Now, just because you have a need for speed or some other app that you have on your phone where you're actually driving, that does not qualify you for driving. Just because you have attraction for someone, it doesn't give you a right to date. Just because we fell in love, you're 15, you don't even know what that is. Just because you got the feelings raging and you're losing sleep and you pulse and you're sweating around that person and you start to stutter around that person, it does not mean you are licensed by God to date. You say, so when do I date? I'm going to give you an answer you're not going to like to hear. Whenever you're ready for marriage. You want to avoid heartbreak, unwanted pregnancy, sexually transmitted diseases, demons that we pick up from other people who are not walking with the Lord. I'm going to give you one secret. One secret. Make a standard for yourself that if you're not ready for marriage, you're not ready for dating. That's all. Otherwise, you're dating for what? For fun. If you want to have fun, get a hobby. If you want to have fun, hike Badger Mountain. If you want to have fun, get swimming lessons. If you want to get fun, get a job. If you want to get fun, get a dog, get a cat, get a friend, for crying out loud. I mean, get involved in the church. If you want to have fun, you don't use another person's heart for fun.
So we talk about all these things that may stop a person from winning. And somebody said, well, what about their health? Yeah, health can stop you, slow you down. Mindset, mentality definitely can slow you down. Somebody said relationships. Somebody said, actually, I think relationships is the number 1 thing that can stop a person from winning. And I was like, ooh, I think you might be right. You might be onto something. It can be family, it can be friends, but 9 times out of 10, it's romantic relationships that will tear you down if you're not strong enough to deal with whatever's coming your way. I don't care if you're poor. I don't care if you're in the middle class. I don't care if you're the richest or the rich. Relationships will break you to your knees, will bring you to your knees, that will make you buckle. You have to be mentally strong enough to understand that whatever another human being, another living person does to you should never be enough to ruin your life.
See, a lot of people are struggling with purity. Young people are struggling with purity for this reason. Because you can never be pure outside of your principles. Listen to this very carefully. I'm going to share with you a secret. Purity only exists when you honor your standards. When you step over your standards, you can pray until your veins pop. You will never be pure. Because purity is God's gift for honoring your standards. And girls, guys, you have to have standards. You have to make up those standards before a boy shows up. You have to have those standards before the girl shows up. You can't let somebody else make up those standards for you. You can't let Kardashians make up standards for you. You can't let your friends make up standards for you. You can't let the culture. You gotta make up the standards that are in line with God's word before anybody shows up. Can I get a witness in this place?
Well, so many of us fail to save a piece of our hearts for ourselves. And so when the unthinkable happens, we're broken, we're battered. We don't want to get out of bed. We don't want to go to work. Worst case scenario, people take their lives because he left, because she left. I want you to understand, we're all living human beings.
And you got to understand that when you stand for your standards, something happens. Purity is automatic. But the moment you step over your standards, this is what's going to happen. You're going to find yourself pregnant. You're You're gonna find yourself losing your virginity. You're gonna find yourself heartbroken. You're like, man, I thought you loved me, when he only wanted to get into your pants. You find yourself heartbroken. You say, how did that happen? Anytime you step over your boundaries and step over your standards, you'll find yourself heartbroken and you will lose your purity.
Nobody should base their life or their self-worth on being with another person. Why come this person don't want me? Why could they leave me? Why would they? Listen to me. This is the first thing I need you to understand. And remember, if you don't remember nothing I say, never ever forget this. Never ever be surprised at what another living human being does. We're all imperfectly perfect. We're capable of making mistakes, and I promise you, at that very moment in time, when a person makes a mistake, they stop worrying about what somebody else is thinking. They stop worrying about you, and they go for self. And when they go for self, 9 times out of 10, if you're the person in the way, you just get ran over like a Mack truck. You have to be able to deal with whatever relationship you're dealing with. And you have to be strong enough to face whatever may be coming down the pike. Each and every one of our lives comes with its own set of built-in problems. We can't escape that. And if you decide that you're gonna fall for this person, understand that this person may hurt you. Understand that this person may betray you. Understand that this person may lie to you. I call it mental practice.
Protect your standards. Protect your principles. Saying, you know what, as much as I like you, this is great, but I gotta check with God's word. You know what, I gotta check if you go to church. I gotta check if you even know Christ. I mean, I don't hate on you or anything. I'm not racist, none of that stuff. But it's just, I gotta honor my principles. Why? Because that's how I stay pure and that's how I stay protected.
And what I tell people is, NFL is the National Football League. And every week they have an opponent that the team is playing. They spend countless hours game planning and preparing for any situation, any scenario that may come up, so they're prepared. But we're living our lives and we're dealing with people on a daily basis, and we never mentally practice. We never game plan. We never strategize for if my boo, my baby, the love of my life cheats on me. How am I going to deal with that? For the football team, they would practice that cheating play. They would have a cheating play. Okay, so if this person cheats on me, this is how we're going to counter that, and we're going to be ready to not let it break us, and we're going to be ready to still go score. How can you overcome when somebody betrays your trust or cheats you? You have to mentally practice. You actually have to step out of your comfort zone. Not easy. Not easy to visualize your significant other messing around with somebody else. But I promise you, if you practice it and you take a moment and say, okay, let me go there. I don't want to go there, but let me go there. And you practice it and you see yourself with the first reaction. Then you do it again. You see yourself with another reaction. First time you might have just lost it and spazzed out and took everybody out. Second time you might have just said, okay, cussed them out. The third time you're like, you know what? I ain't even got time for your ignorance. If that's what you want to do, my granny told me there's always more fish in the sea, baby. So what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that you are strong enough. You just don't know it. You have to mentally practice. You have to get your mindset right to be able to deal with whatever's going to happen in your relationship. And you know what? If something happens, do not carry that baggage into the next one. Do not.
Never. If you will always make a mistake in your dating life, and you will lose your purity if you let your passion take the driver's seat. Because passion, a lot of times, is another word for lust. But if you let the passion go into school of your principles, and if that passion does not pass the school of your principles, then the passion has to be kicked out and say, you know what, this is not for me. Why? Because I'm not going to compromise my principles for somebody I'm attracted to, for somebody I have a crush on, or for somebody that makes me feel like little butterflies in my stomach.
You give the next person a fresh start and enjoy the relationship. And don't worry about whatever he or she may be able to do, because they are capable of doing great things and they're capable of doing dumb things. Save a piece of your heart for yourself. So just in case they do something that you don't like, that is what we call a deal breaker, you're able to wake up the next morning shake it off, realize that, dang, that was a good one, but wasn't as good as I thought. And you can hold your head up high, and you can go to work. You can keep running your business. You can keep living your life, because at the end of the day, you understand that you will never, ever, ever let a relationship break you.